Good morning, students. Welcome back to social science class. Last session we have seen about the need for laws. Under that we have seen about women's discrimination, like the practice of sati, female infanticide, child marriage, parda system, and dowry, which was prevailing in the society in India. So under that we have seen the anti-dowry law, how the sati and the abolition of sati and what act it was passed for abolition of sati and the female infanticides. All these things we have seen in the last session. Today's in this session we will see about the laws and the dissent. So what is the meaning for the word law? Law is a set of rules decided by a particular state meant for the purpose of keeping the state, peace and security of the society. Not only the state, whole country. So it's a set of rules to keep the peace and security of a society in a particular place. That is called law. And it is the duty of every citizen to follow the laws passed by the legislature. It is a rules to follow for every citizen what laws they are making by the legislature members. In some instance, the government may not act in the same appropriate manner. With this, certain laws may be passed which are against the interest of the people. So in such cases, it will lead to the rise of dissent, where common people expresses their disagreement with the government and demand changes for that particular law. And let us see some examples for that dissent. Okay, so the first is during the British rule. So here the meaning of the word dissent is defined as a disagreement in opinion. If I am saying some opinion, if you are not willing with that opinion, you are not interested with that opinion, means so that is called dissent. You are showing a disagreement to my opinion, so that is called dissent. An example for dissent is the decision to vote differently from one's friend in the student council election. So this is an example for the word dissent. And here comes the pictures. These are the pictures. Gandhiji's Satyagraha went for a Dandi march, the first picture, and the second picture is Gandhi picking up the grains of salt at the end of the Dandi march. And during the British rule, India were not allowed to produce their own salt. They were not supposed to produce their own salt. So the British had a monopoly on producing the salt. They had the rights on producing the salt. So the Indians, they had to pay a salt tax for the salt produced by the British people. The Indian people, they want to pay the taxes, which had an adverse impact on the poor people. And Mahatma Gandhiji's this salt satyagraha, it was directed against this injustice law, and it was a non-violent movement. It was a non-violent protest which led to this civil disobedience movement in March 1930. And Gandhiji, he reached on 24th March from Sabarmati Ashramam. Here in the third picture you can see a ashramam. No, it is in Ahmedabad, called Sabarmati Ashramam. Okay, it is to the small seaside town of Dundee. Upon reaching Dundee, Gandhi and his followers, they manufactured their own salt from the sea and broke the unjust law. So Gandhi and a large number of his followers were arrested for this action, what they did in the following months. So the civil disobedience movement became one of the most powerful, impactful movement for the Indian freedom struggle. And the next heading, anti-Lequire movement. So this was the movement, this was an act. It was held on 1991. In 1991, women from the rural district of Dubaganda, that is situated in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, They started protecting against the growing of alcoholism among men. Okay, they were fighting for that. Alcohol abuse often leads to the domestic abuse and dwelling household incomes. So the protest quickly it spread across the whole state, and it became the known fact, and it became a movement called anti-liquor movement. Okay, and it led to a statewide ban on alcoholic beverage passed in the year 1995. Okay, the anti-liquor movement, they led to statewide ban for this alcoholic beverage. It was passed in the year 1995. Okay.